All right. Let me see. Just want to make sure right here. Dang. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Skill Riders Podcast. I'm your host, 65 Oaks, and I am here with our guests from Southern California. Next year, they got an event coming up. They go by the Left Coast Scale Classic. We got Big Dave and also Frankie, also known as Boulevard Resin. So let's go ahead and bring these guys in. What up? What up? How you guys doing?
What's up, fellas?
What's going
Doing
on,
all right,
Jimmy?
Chief?
What's going on?
Yeah, man. Dang. Welcome to the podcast. I mean, you guys have been on the podcast before. We've done the interviews separately, but now this is pretty cool because we're doing it collectively.
Right.
And you guys have an announcement. You guys have something, coming up. So let's start things off. If you guys want to make that announcement, and then we'll go from there.
Frankie, all you, man.
Well, we're here to talk about our show, the Left Coast Skill Classic, that we're doing next year, April 25th at the Ventura Fairgrounds. Yeah, Dave's got the logo behind him. You'll see our posts here and there with that logo. Don't be annoyed by it. Check it out. Be intrigued by it. Go to the website and read what you can. There's stuff on the website to find out, what we're all about, what we're doing, why we're doing it. But we're also here to talk about it to let you guys know firsthand, that we're trying to put something on special. We're trying to make something big happen. And that's what we're here to talk about.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and for those, for everybody that's watching right now, a lot of people know you guys here in Southern California and also, out in the East Coast. Like you, Frank, you've gone to NNL East, and you guys have traveled to many shows. I kind of wanted to also, in the episode, get into you guys' history, like a recap of your guys' involvement with model building leading up to the show, because this isn't just like any regular show where it's being put on by just someone who's like, hey, you know what? Like, I see we can make some money right here or whatever. Let's just make a show. And they're not even model builders, they're just like, let's just do this event. We want people to know that, hey, you guys are there. You guys have been doing this for a very long time there as well.
Definitely.
And it's a trip. Like, I don't think you guys even ever imagined, like, back then when you guys were doing models, like maybe one day in the future we'll be throwing an event.
Wasn't even on the radar for me.
Not like this.
That's crazy.
Not this guy.
When did you guys meet up? Like, when did you guys see each other like at a show or link up?
Well, the first time I met David was 25. No,
Yeah, right about 23 years ago.
20-something years ago. He was doing the model show for the was it not the Ventura Nationals? What was it called?
Primer
Nationals. And it was the first annual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I was out there, I believe, as a vendor. I was selling die cast, I was selling T-shirts, and I was selling tikis.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that they were going to have a model show, so I brought some models, and there sparked a friendship, man, from right there.
Then we started seeing each other at all the shows.
Yeah.
So, matter of fact, he got the first award Winfield ever did in my shows. He still has it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a real nice glass curved, not plaque, but a nice engraved glass piece. That's the custom car Winfield pick, which is pretty cool for me.
Yep.
Dang. Frankie, it's a trip because lately I've been like flipping through the lowrider bicycle magazines, and when I flipped through the one that's featuring the Local 64, Armando Flores, right? When you flip, when you go past that article, then we get into your article, like
my little article.
And I was. Is
that the one in black and white? Is that the one in black and white?
I think so. Yeah. And,
that's the first one, right?
I remember like seeing it as a kid, right? And I never crossed my mind like, oh, one day I'll meet Frankie, But I would see those builds right there, and then it's just a trip. Like so many years later, and you have that piece of history too of being in that magazine, right there.
I was lucky enough to be in it twice. That article you're talking about was the first time, and it was just kind of slapped together with some black and white pictures, which was kind of cool. I was excited because I'm like, ooh, they picked me to be in there.
Yeah.
At the time it was a big deal. Now that you're older and you understand how things work, it's cool. It's not as big a deal, but it's cool. And yeah, I was excited about it. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy. And I know, like for Dave, in the last time we did an episode, you had mentioned, about when we were talking about like Ventura County, you had mentioned about like Santa Barbara having like a hobby shop, like
I did for
all
almost
the
10,
way
I
up
did for 10
there.
years.
And it's crazy, man. Like you guys have a lot of history. Each one of you has like your own history with a lot of stuff with like model building. Like for you guys, how big is it in your lives? Like, that it's impacted you guys.
uh, well, let's say there's enough on the back wall that it'll at least pay the mortgage twice if I pass.
Right on.
I'm somewhere in that neighborhood. Although my collection's getting smaller, not because I've been selling a bunch of stuff, but just I've been hanging on to stuff that matters. And so a lot of regular kits, just like whatever, and I'm hanging on to like rare resin or rare kits. There's kits out there that a lot of people have no idea even exist because
Yeah.
they're not really into like their grails are different than other people's grails. There's a lot of guys that are still searching for your a lot of your traditional lowriders. So those are the ones that they'll seek out. And after a while, because I got started doing the lowrider models. I had a real lowrider back in the day, and now that I'm a little older, I've expanded my horizon when it comes to cars and my taste in cars. And I can tell you right now that my grails have changed. Where back in the day I was hoping for that vintage 64 or 62 kit,
Mm.
original in the box. And now I've got other stuff that's like more valuable to me as a grail than something like that.
Yeah.
It evolves. Everything evolves. We get older, things change. That's how it is.
Yeah. Damn. Nah, yeah, it
Yeah.
does, man. Yeah, because in the beginning, I still remember just, whatever kits I could get my hands on, I was like, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. And then you know what I remember, Frankie, is like when it was the Cadillac Fest one year when Armando did that the Whittier Boulevard,
We did
right? With all you
Boulevard,
guys.
right?
Yeah, with everybody that collaborated with that project.
Yep.
And I remember like going to that show and you had a booth, you were setting up, like selling some stuff. That was the first time I saw 1965 wagons that you had in resin, and I
Right.
was like, "Dang! Like I need to get my hands on those." I think I bought like a couple of them off of you,
Right.
and I don't know, man. It was just like to me that was like something rare. I was like, when I got those on my hand, I was like, man, this is like I felt like I was starting my holy grail right there, collection of stuff.
Well, I mean, some of that stuff it's hard to find stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't been casting. I still get people asking me for stuff, and I just haven't had the time. My day job is getting a little bit more intense, and I moved a little further away from work, so my commute messes me up. But one thing that has changed now that we're doing the show, I've been re-inspired to start building and actually finishing a build. Because I can tell you right now, man, I have a shelf. There's probably at least 20, 30 kits that are started, and I haven't finished a single one.
Yeah,
And this, except for this 53 Chevy that I started working on last month, and it's
damn.
pretty much done. I just got to do a couple bare metal pieces to it, but it's done. And then I got to finish at least three more for our show.
You check it
Yeah, there
out.
you go. That one. Yeah.
Getting it done. This is the one, right?
Yep, that's the one.
Dang.
It's a little
Yeah,
bit more complete now.
yeah, I saw that video when you were like talking about it regarding
Right.
that you're like, hey, since we're gonna be throwing and hosting the show, I want to get back to the table, build some builds,
Yep.
and bring them out, and just
That's
to make
it.
it fun,
That's
um,
right.
going back to the roots. I want to show everybody who's watching this other. This is
That's it.
actually a photo, like a screenshot from your video, because
All right.
yeah, because I know you had it on. I was like, man, I should have grabbed the video, but It looks nice rotating right there. And for everybody watching too, let me show you guys this awesome car that Big Dave did too. Check this out.
Oh my God! Yes, the
Heck yeah, man.
yep.
That thing's bad, right?
That
Here.
was built for the FFAFF build off.
Oh, nice.
That started as a Corvette,
That's the Corvette.
right?
Dang.
Yeah, it started off as a 58 Corvette.
On this one,
Very cool.
question regarding the paint: did you have it all white and then started fading in the blue?
Yeah, so I did pearl white. Yeah, so and that's the first time I've airbrushed.
Nice.
That
it came out good. I like it.
Yeah, it came out real nice. Yeah, that was rattle can pearl white from House of Color, and then that's I believe the cobalt blue candy from House of Colors, if I remember correctly. And then just Mr. Clear, as it were. That's not even a 2K clear. That's Mr. Clear.
Mr. Clear.
Yeah, that looks nice, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well executed. Yeah, so let me give a shout out real quick to everyone who's tuned in right now, because we got some homies that are here. Shout outs to Kid Builder Chris, Katsu all the way in Hawaii. Slowly
Hey, what's up, guys?
Armando Flores, Juana Mesqua, Pro Customs, Rudy Munoz, Scale Model Cars in Hawaii as well, and Vision 124, George Ramos.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
Right on.
What's going on, boys?
Styrene Live 505. What up?
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, man, so for everyone who's watching, we're just kind of getting, kind of a little intro here, because not only are these guys model builders, they also, have gone to many shows. They've vended at shows. They've done a lot of different stuff. So this show that's going to be curated, I feel like collectively coming together, this is going to be an amazing show that's coming up for next year in April. Was it hard for you guys, like, to be able to find the venue or to decide, like, where are we going to host this show?
Mm.
I'll let Dave take that one.
We were looking at a number of different venues, because this has been going for 2 years now. We've been kicking this. This has been in the works. We were looking at Santa Maria, but the venue was too small. That and probably a little too far north for most SoCal guys. So we needed something closer to home, but not Southern California, technically, not LA area. So we landed in Ventura County Fairgrounds. They've got two great big Quonsets that rival the size of the room that NNL West had. And that was our goal, was finding something that was on par with the size of NNL West and sizing, so that we could get as many different genres in and get everybody just having a good time. And this one, Ventura County Fairgrounds, is what worked. They're all about it. It's a 21,000 square foot venue. We couldn't argue with it.
Man, that's tight. Yeah, I've been to that venue. I mean, many times, growing up out there in Ventura County. Been out there for
right.
the big, like the Ventura County Fair is like a massive event that they do out there. Also, what is it? The Ventura Nationals. The car
Ventura Nationals were the Primer Nationals.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that was bought out by Holly and her husband. I don't remember his name, but they run it now. They do a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Man, and then out there, man, I mean, you got a lot of connects out there with people in the car scene in Ventura County.
Ventura County, LA area. I mean,
yeah.
A little backside on me. I used to do the model contest for George Barris out of his show out of Culver City. The Ratfink reunion with Moldy Marvin, of course, the Primer Nationals, my own show, Modelrama. So the model car show scene has been something I've been doing for probably 25 odd years. So this is the biggest thing down the pike that myself or Frankie have ever attempted. And it's going really well, really, really well. Yeah,
that's good, man. Hell yeah. I'm like getting hyped. We I wanted to tell you guys too. Thank you for hooking it up with the flyers. I got one right in front of me right now.
Nice.
There's been a lot of support. People been ordering stuff, and I've noticed like even in I get tagged in customer orders, and then they'll have like the flyer right there and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. And even for some people that don't even live in California, they're getting this flyer too. I've had some people that order that are from like Puerto Rico and other different areas outside of the U.S. They're getting a copy, even if I don't know if they come or not, but at least they got this copy, and they're like, dang, like this is pretty fresh to have.
Hey, once the whole thing blows over and the smoke's cleared, everyone's gonna wish they were there, and they're gonna be happy to have that flyer.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, those stickers were like the first thing that ran out. Like when I was putting them over, I was like, oh dang, here we go. That's it. The stickers are done.
Well, we want to thank you, by the way, for
your support, man.
Just for supporting us, man. Seriously,
right on, man.
You have a lot more pull, and the fact that you're sending us stuff out with your product that you sell, we can't be more than we're more than grateful to you, man. Seriously.
Man. It's all good,
man. We're grateful and thankful, brother.
Man. Likewise, it's all love, because I've never hosted like a show like by myself or anything like that. Maybe in the future I will, and I'm gonna have to like ask you guys, hey, how do I do this stuff? But the thing is, it's like you guys that are doing this, other people that have done shows, man, mad respect for that, because it is a lot of hard work. There's ups and downs, all this process of thinking how we do this, what's the solution for this, all these, dude. I could only imagine, man. And let's let everybody know. So it's gonna be not only model cars. What other types of scales are gonna be getting involved in this?
Well, the way it started is we wanted to do a show. Actually, let's take it back a minute. So when we found out that NNL West might be over, we started talking. It was a deep conversation where we're actually talking about whether or not the hobby's dying, if it's even worth putting on a big show anymore. We guessed at costs. I mean, we just had a nice, big, in-depth conversation. There was a handful of us there. It wasn't just me and Dave. And between probably about 7 of us, we just kept back and forth. And I'm not going to lie, I kept the conversation going because we drift away and be like, but wait a minute, what about this and what about that? And we kept talking about it.
Fine.
And the next day, when we're getting set up at NNL, I was going to ask the Rex, which is the guy that's in charge of the vendors, but somebody beat me to it. And they asked him, and they were right in front of us, and he got upset. Oh, I can't believe they're starting these rumors. That's nonsense, blah, blah, blah. He got all mad. So with me, I looked at Dave, I'm like, okay, I guess not. And then at the end of the day, they announced next year would be their last one. So the whole ride home was just talking about, what do we do? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Do we do it? Should we? Maybe take NNL West over? And so then began a year-long conversation, which honestly didn't take much of the conversation. There was questions we asked, and they would kind of take their time to get back to me because of whatever they were deciding. And in the end, we tried to take over the NNL West name, but not by taking it from them, by asking them if they give it to us.
We requested that they just hand it off.
Yeah, we offered to breathe new life into it, and they opted not to. They didn't want to give it to anyone. In the situation they found themselves in, they were losing money, and they didn't want to hand it off to anyone like that because they figured that whoever did the next big show would be better off with a new show.
And they weren't wrong.
I still think we could have done NNL West some justice. However, where we're at today, the show that we have planned is going to be bigger, is going to be better, it's going to be more inclusive. There's going to be a lot more to see there. It's not just going to be, let's go see the regular people we see at last year's show. Now you're going to see people you've probably seen online that you've never seen in person because they deal in Hot Wheels or they deal in the RC car world. And as we're talking about it, all of us are car guys. If let's just say you don't have any one-to-ones and all you have is model cars, you're a car guy because you like cars. By building models, you know how to work on cars, you know what parts are what, you know where they go, you know what you got to do to modify it. So you're a car guy. And we all got our start with Hot Wheels. So we all know Hot Wheels, we all love Hot Wheels, we all played with them, we all dreamed with them, we dreamed about them and the cars that we're going to have in our future in our driveways and when we're older. So that scene right there is blowing up. Guys are doing crazy stuff with the Hot Wheels. I mean, look at Jerry's. He just did that mini truck with the dancing bed, and it's an RC. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Guys are doing some awesome paint jobs and customizing. The whole 3D print world is going nuts because 164 guys, the Hot Wheel guys, it's the sky's the limit. What they can do with these Hot Wheels now. Accessories. I see guys build 3D printed little Harleys on the back of their pickups, surfboards, lowrider bikes, custom suspensions. It's nuts, all the stuff that you can do. So that category is pretty intense. Why not bring those guys in? And now we're going to have more people to fill this in. NNL West was a great show for as long as it was. I mean, 40 years is nothing to sneeze at. Those guys did a lot of great work by having that show go on as long as it did. But toward the end, there was like a quarter of the venue that wasn't being used. So they weren't even using the whole whatever the square footage was. And we thought, as a new show, could we fill that? And what could we do to fill that? And it wasn't just about filling space, because it's about building something that people are going to want to come and see. They're going to want to come and participate. So if we offer something to the Hot Wheel guys, then that's just more the merrier. We're all car guys anyways. And then why not include, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Frankie is spot on. When you go to the show, the whole point is you're going to be immersed in 164th, 124th, 125th models, and 110 scale RC. You're going to be exposed to all of that, and 3D model printing comes into play for all of it. The crossover, and then everybody's getting in one area. So it's an amazing setup. The more we get into this, the more it's like this is where shows are going to go. The standard model shows are over, in my opinion. This is the next venue. This is what's going to keep the hobby alive. This is what's going to keep all of this flowing. Sorry, Frank, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to add that.
No, not at all. But in a nutshell, he's not wrong. And so why not put on a venue where all us car guys that deal in some type of scale get together and celebrate them all? Celebrate the RC cars, celebrate the model cars, celebrate the 164, the Hot Wheels or the Matchbox or whatever you want to call them, just 164, and get them all together. And we're all car guys. So, not to put down any IPMS shows, but, as a car guy, if I go to an IPMS show, I don't want to see the military stuff. I don't want to see the Gundam stuff. It's just not my thing. So I don't really care for it. And so by doing this show, well, guess what? I'm going to like the 164. I'm going to like the 124. I'm going to like the 110. I'm going to like everything in between because it's all car stuff. I can appreciate 4x4s. I can appreciate drift cars. I can appreciate lowriders. I can appreciate bombs. I can appreciate an F1 build. I mean,
absolutely.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So guess what? No matter what you're into, you're going to like what you see. You're going to actually walk around intrigued at everything there, not just the handful of tables they have for cars, as opposed to some other shows.
So what were you calling it, Frankie? What were you, what were you calling it affectionately?
The concept was, the 3-ring circus under the one big top.
Amen.
And so you have 3 different things going on all under one roof. And so when you walk in, you're going to see it all. You're going to get to see stuff that you don't normally see. If you're in the Hot Wheels, you're not used to seeing, aside from the stuff you see online, you're not used to seeing these RC cars, hopping and doing stuff live. You're not used to seeing these really intense 124, 125th scale model builds in person. And the same goes for everybody else. Guys that are building the RC cars, you're going to look at these Hot Wheels and be like, what the heck? they're going to be scratching their heads going, geez, look at that detail. And so we can all appreciate everything that we're going to see. It's awesome. And why wouldn't that work? This is something that makes sense to me. And all we're trying to do is get the word out to make everyone aware that this is the type of show we're trying to put on. You know, you might have seen a video or two and it might be silly to you or it might be, you know, boring. I'm not sure. But all we're trying to do is get this message out because you're going to want to be there. I'm telling you right now, after the show, people are going to have that FOMO because they wish they were there. It's going to be awesome. I'm sure of it.
No, yeah, man. For sure. Yeah, it's crazy, man, because you know, going back to like how you said about like NNL, it wasn't like about let's just take it over and like it's ours and this and that. The thing is it's a show that's been going on for so many years and it's something that I think everybody holds it close to them. You know, they have memories of making friends and meeting people, the drive up. Like for us that are down here, driving up, there's been adventures going up there.
It's
you know?
a pilgrimage.
See, I've been trying to drag people up to NNL West for years. You know, I've been going on and off for over 20, 25 years in NNL West. And it's interesting, you know, I always had people to go with, but not always the same people. And sometimes I'd be able to drag some people out. I mean, shoot, I remember years ago, I used to go with Menace and Big Tony and Henry Espinosa. And that was a click for a while. You know, then things dropped off, things changed, life happens. Then it was just me going on my own. And then it was me dragging whoever wanted to go. And half the time, people down here didn't want to go. Till I finally started convincing Henry to come back. I got Willie to go out there. For the last couple of years, I got Big Dave right here, the star witness. He didn't believe in going that far. He didn't know how good this show was. And one thing that I stress, and I even said this in the last podcast that you invited me to, the camaraderie is huge. I'm really big on that. And so just like you're saying right now, the memories that you're making and the friendships that you're having and the people that you're going to see, I can't express how important that is. And those are the connections that are going to keep this hobby going. Those are the connections that are just going to keep things happening for us. I mean, I believe that wholeheartedly.
No, yeah, dude. Because like one memory I have, you know, going up like when Alex did one of the pizza nights. I want to say it was probably it might have been probably the I want to say the first one because I know George was there. Vision 124. He came out all the way from New Jersey,
Right.
And then there was another homie that came from Colorado. And rest in peace to him. His name was Noco Scalato. And that was the first time I got to meet him and chop it up with them and everything there at the pizza night. Then I got to see him at the NNL. And then it wasn't like until like, you know, time passed and then he ended up passing away. And I was like, damn, that was like pretty shocking because all the communication we had was always on Instagram all the time.
Was that the first year that Willie went out there taking pictures for Dedicated?
I don't know if it was that year or the following year. Probably.
Because I'll tell you right now, I don't know if you were staying at that hotel, but we had so many people hanging out at that hotel that our room ended up being like a hospitality suite.
Yeah. George was there at that.
Yep.
We've talked about that, and the thing was he met you guys there. Like he didn't really know you guys that well, but I hadn't met up with George yet, so somehow it was like Armando and they were like, hey, let's go over here, let's hang out with these guys. We're gonna go downstairs because everyone was staying in that same hotel.
Right.
And I remember when I showed up, everyone's like, oh, everyone's down there. All right, cool. And yeah, there was like a bunch of people in the room, like. And then Willie was photographing. I remember he had his
he had the booth right there, right in front of my bed, and we're like, yeah, go for it, man. We're hanging out. Everybody's playing with models. We were dusting them off and gluing the parts that fell off back on. And Willie was taking pictures. People were drinking beers. I mean, it was just a really fun time. You know, what might have been a frustration that night, like, oh, I can't go to sleep yet because everybody's here hanging out in my room. So what? Now, man, that's an awesome memory. You know, aside from the fact, I think it was a year after where cops got called because guys got too rowdy in the parking lot or whatever late night. I mean, those things happen. But those are the things that that make that show. I mean, that trip interesting. Those are the memories. Like, hey, you remember that one time this happened? Oh yeah. And I can say, hey, remember that time everybody was hanging in our room? Oh yeah. And even thinking about stuff like that for this show, how can we create, you
Yeah.
know, an environment or a situation, so we're working on a Friday night, not necessarily a pizza party, but we're working on a Friday night event.
Yep.
And somebody jokingly said something, and now we're looking at it seriously. Why not do a Sunday morning brunch somewhere? Because Ventura is a beautiful place to hang out in, man.
Well,
Yeah.
If I get 15
Hell
people
yeah.
that want to go to brunch on Sunday, let's do that.
Well, it's
Yep.
funny, and that was on the Scale Model Car podcast. I don't know if it was BG that brought it up or if it was Lucas C, but that struck a chord with us in
Right.
that. And again, thanks to those guys too. That was a great podcast that we did with them just recently. You guys should look at that one. But yeah, a before show, a during show, and an after show. That it, like Frankie's saying, a gathering, memories. So it's being worked on.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to see if we can do an extra room. I mean, it's going to be out of pocket, but I think it might be worth it. If I get a handful of guys coming from out of town that
Mm-hmm.
don't really want to get their own room, if they're willing to bunk, hey, I'll put up for an extra room and we can have a bunch of guys hang out there. They can crash there or what have you, at least for that Friday night. Uh, but there's going to be things that I'm trying to put together so that this, not just the show, but anybody that goes to the show is going to get something, is going to take something from this. And I'm not just talking about the show itself. I mean, to me, that whole trip is part of it. The camaraderie, the friendships, because those are the things that matter. Just like our friendship with you, our friendship with Willie, our friendship with Armando, all these different guys, those connections matter, man, and they're important. Not because someone's better than the other guy or this guy's good at that and that guy's good at this. No, because these are the friends that we have now. These are the people, these are our peers uh, at this time. And those are the people that we're going to share these memories with. At least that's how I see it.
Nah, definitely. I think the location's a great location because, like, look, anywhere, we're all spread out. We're all in different cities. And sometimes we look at an event and we go, oh, that's far. That's far,
Yeah.
right? We start thinking, like, wait, but everything's far away. Like, right now, where I'm at in LA, I could say, oh, San Diego's far. I don't want to go down there, right?
Right.
But if I find out, wait, this is happening, who's going to be there? Wait, what? Then I'm going to be like, you know what? What? 2 hour drive, 2.5, that's nothing.
Well,
I could listen to a
Right.
podcast, I could call a friend on the drive up, or I could roll with a bunch of friends and it'll be a fun
Exactly.
trip.
Here,
Like,
I'll just
going
lay out a
down.
guilt complex for everybody. How about this? We Lee Croden, Crow Customs, will be out here for the show from the UK. And from there, he'll be going to SoCal Open, which is just after. And then he's going back. And then the boys from Hawaii, we just got confirmation that they're coming in. So these guys from NorCal, these guys from Arizona, it's worth the trip. This is going to be a FOMO moment for you guys, and we don't want you to miss out. We want you there.
We were.
Yeah. It's definitely like a middle ground because
It is.
if you think of like people coming up from like San Diego, the Valley, LA County area, and then you start getting into Ventura County and then start going up north, and like all of a sudden from up north, once you get to like mid California, Salinas area and all that, the rest that's in order that would attend like NNL West, it's gonna be like, dude, we're right here, just come through.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. That's why we ended up with the venue where it is, because it's not LA area SoCal. It's skirting the edge of NorCal. Most people think Santa Barbara is where NorCal starts, and they're not wrong. That once you get past Ventura, that's really thinking of NorCal. So putting it here, we're an hour away from LAX. We're an hour away from Burbank. We're 40 minutes away from Santa Barbara as far as hubs to fly into. It's a tourist town, Ventura is, so there's plenty of lodging, there's plenty of food, there's plenty of things to do. I mean, the beach, Main Street. You couldn't ask for a better place to put it on.
Yeah, that's definitely like a really dope family destination too. You know, I grew up in those areas. I lived in Ventura for a long time, close to Main Street. And I'll tell you guys here, if you guys are traveling from out of town into California to go to this event, and let's say you've never been to California and you're thinking like, man, maybe it's gonna be hard for me to go by myself, like because I got things going on with the family, we haven't gone on vacation or anything, and you want to bring your wife, a kid, or whatever.
Yep,
You can definitely
absolutely
make it happen and make it happen because LAX is not too far from Ventura. There's plenty of hotels in Ventura. There's Main Street. They even shut down Main Street where you could just walk all over Main Street, go to restaurants, and then walk down to the pier, and then you got the venue right there. Everything's like walking distance from everything.
Right, and if they want to drive, they can take a drive for 30 minutes up to Santa Barbara and go visit that. Or it will encompass the entire family, which is what we want anyway. Yeah. RC cars, Hot Wheels, models. It fits the family theme as well.
No, definitely. And then also, I like the different scales of stuff because everything crosses over. You know, if you're used to just building model cars and you decide, you know what, I'm kind of curious. I want to try Hot 164 scale because, you know, I see like Juan Amezcua doing these crazy radical paint jobs. I want to test my skills. You start doing that, you learn a new discipline. And now that crosses back over. The skills you learn with that goes back into your 124 scale, 125, and then later
1-to-1
with the RC.
No, I got a theory. People that go to 164 is because they're running out of space with the 124.
And the same thing with like the RC. I haven't built one, but I'm curious to want to build one. You know, like I see the paint jobs and I go, damn, and then I go, man, that's a big canvas to work with right there. You know, so it's cool, like to see all the variety of things to go get inspired, take some photographs, take some notes, and try to, you know, take that back home to the drawing board.
Right.
That's right.
I think we're amiss. I kind of want to bring something up if you wouldn't mind, gentlemen. This is all being supported by a nonprofit as well, a local nonprofit, Band of Brothers, up in Orcutt area. They are there you go. You see it on the poster.
Yeah, let me bring up the flyer, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Put up the flyer. The proceeds of this show are going to be going to that the group of guys. They're taking wounded warriors, guys who have PTSD, guys who are just reacclimating. It's a great group. We've known Robert for years. This is Robert Raymond on Facebook, and I think it's Robert_Band of Brothers on Instagram, if I remember correctly. He's joined us in this, and we're going to be doing raffles that are 100% proceeds to them. A good amount of the proceeds are going to go from the show to them. We're not out to make money on this show. I think people look at people doing shows this big and go, "Oh, they're out to make money." No, just so you're aware, we are only out to cover for the next year, and everything else is donated. We're not taking anything out of the show except to cover the next year to do 2027. So make it a point to show up and support the Band of Brothers. You know, it's a good cause.
That's dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So everyone watching, you know, either screenshot or write down the date right here, April 25th, 2026, Ventura County Fairgrounds, and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then also let's talk about the admission and the breakdown as to like people that want to, you know, bring their models or the RCs. How's that going to work?
Well, it's already biting us in the ass, but in a good way. So it's going to be $25 to get in, unlimited models, and $25 to get in, unlimited Hot Wheels. And on the RC cars, unfortunately, because they're so big, it's $2 per entry. I've heard that there's guys out there that have up to 10 of these cars, and so they'll have to pay an additional $10 for each car, or they can, give two to one kid and two to another kid, or what have you.
However they
We
want
just
to do it.
gotta, yeah, we're just looking to cover all the tables and the extra tables that we're getting to make sure we have room for everybody. Excuse me. And the reason I said it's biting us in the rear is because I've already got some confirmations from guys that are bringing a lot of models. But that's fine.
We're
We
gonna
want
have
to
to
see
add
them.
more
We want to
tables.
see them all on the. Yeah, we want to see these tables full. So that's okay.
Oh god.
Dang. What a trip. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add
The other
more
thing we're
models.
doing is we have a theme. We have the mini truck theme. So we're encouraging people to go ahead and build one. Or if you have a mini truck build, bring it.
Right.
I see some pretty awesome, like we talked about Jeffries, but I see some other really nice Hot Wheel mini truck builds. I'm going to be building a mini truck.
Yeah, I'll be
We're
doing
also
one
going to be
too, which is
building.
way out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, it's all in the fun.
Yeah.
This show, like I said, for those who haven't been to an NNL show, it's not a judge show.
Nope.
So it's not points, it's not categories. It's just going to be the RC cars and a handful of trophies, the model cars and a handful of trophies, and the Hot Wheels and a handful of trophies.
Yeah,
And I believe it's
doing
going to.
5 trophies per category.
You're right. And so I believe for the RC cars, it's going to be like a best of show, a best paint. Whoops! Hold on,
Uh-oh.
guys.
Nice ceiling.
What happened here? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be. It's like I used to run.
Hold on.
You have best of show, best interior, best paint, best
Technical difficulties.
It's so that's what we're kind of looking at doing. Now we're still working out the minutia when it comes to that, because
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys want a judged show. A show this size with as few people as we got running this, it's a bit much to have it as a judged show. But you guys will walk away with something. We are going to have something to be able to give out.
Yeah.
If, depending upon how it goes. I know that I want to just touch on this briefly. Armando Flores is on board with helping us out with the RC cars side of things. So we want to thank him for that. He's been in it for a while, so his guidance is going to be greatly appreciated. I know that we're in talks with Sam. Have you talked with Sam yet?
No, I'm still waiting for his return, but we've messaged a couple of times, but
Yeah.
waiting for his full-on feedback on the subject.
Yeah, so he's heavy in the 64 scale world. He's half-ass customs on Instagram. So he's been pushing us heavily in the 64 scale world. And so that's, it's all good. There's no bad right now. This is all good right now.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I also had a question regarding since it's not going to be like a judged event, and there's going to be the awards. Will there also be chances of like any like sponsorship awards?
We're hoping so.
Kind of like picks, like if if someone that sponsors.
Well, there's like I said, so if we end up with a solid paint sponsor, that would be like best paint would probably be picked by them. There's one of those for each category is going to be the promoter's pick. So me and Dave will go around and pick one for each of these categories. But yeah, as we get the sponsors in, which we really haven't been pushing to get sponsors. Like I said, as of right now, it's not a money grab. So we're not really focused on trying to get sponsorship money, so to speak. We're still just trying to do sort of a grassroots growth and word of mouth, and people find out about the show, either watching these videos or watching posts or hearing from somebody else that we're talking about it. That's what we're really hoping, that's where it starts, and as we get closer to that, then we'll start looking at sponsors. Obviously, if somebody wants to, call us up and say, hey, we want to sponsor something, well, then we'll work with them and see, what we'll get them to sponsor or how we'll work that out. But as we said earlier, it's not a money grab. We're not looking to line our pockets. That's not the case. We just gotta, pay for the expenses, pay for the show, and help out the Band of Brothers. That's all we want. We're hoping that we don't fall into situations that other shows may have. Because I happen to know, some of the details, not all of them, some of the details with NNL West. So I know why it went the way it went, and it wasn't necessarily in their control.
Yeah,
Things
correct.
just, COVID messed a few things up for them and left them in a really bad spot, and they really couldn't get out of it. And so they had struggles and challenges to overcome, and their group was getting smaller, and those challenges became a little too much. And so for me and Dave, we're not alone. We've got people like you, Edgar. We got people like Willie. There's a bunch of people out there behind us that we feel that we have your support. And right now, that's all we need to keep us going. And as with the day gets closer, we really believe things are going to fall into place. Granted, it's going to take a lot of planning. We can't just sit there and pray for it to fall into place. We got to do the work, which is what we're doing. But I definitely don't feel like we're alone on this. I think there's a lot of people that are behind it. There's a lot of people that like the idea and the concept. And for those reasons, we don't feel like we're alone on this. And for that also is the reason that Dave and I get excited when we talk about this. We really believe in this, and we think it's going to happen in such a good way that I can't see it not being positive.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
Man, when you guys officially signed, the contract with Ventura County Fairgrounds, and there was the date is booked, you guys are set. What was that feeling like that day?
Interesting. We just walked into this big, giant, empty room, and it looked humongous. And after days of planning, we're like, man, I hope this room's big enough.
Yeah.
That's
not a lie.
When I slide my credit card to make that payment, I'm like, all right, here we go. And, roll the dice. But I don't really feel like it's a roll of the dice. I really feel like it's going to happen. Not because we got money into it. That's not it. Because it's going to be something special. And I just can't emphasize that enough. It's going to be something good. And we believe in this, and a lot of people are behind us on this too.
We've lost quite a few shows over the last couple of years. COVID didn't help. But, GSL, NNL West, there's a lot of shows that aren't on the West Coast anymore. And so where are our guys going? Local shows? Okay, great. Local shows are fun. But to have something where you can pull the number of hobbyists that this can pull, there's nothing right now. And that's what we're filling. We're filling that void. That's what we're doing.
Well, I will say this, for anybody who hasn't been to an NNL East show, that show's pretty intense. It's a big show. They have a lot of vendors, and I've been there a handful of times. It's an awesome time. But not everybody gets to go out to the East Coast. Not everybody's willing to fly all the way out there. Granted, people that are local to them, that's their show. But if you're in the Midwest and you've never been to a show, you're going to want to check us out or check them out, either way. But you're going to want to go to a big show. And these are the last few big shows that are left. Well, Atlanta's coming up, and I'm planning on being there as well to promote. Atlanta, that's their NNL. Even though it's an IPMS show, it's still it's all cars from what I understand, and it's the next biggest one. There's a handful of smaller NNLs out there still, and I just can't emphasize: go to a show, check a show out, and find a big show, because those are the exciting ones to go to, and ours is going to be one of them. It's going to put big show on the map.
I agreed. The way we've got the dates set on this show, it puts us in between the Desert Scale Classic and Art Lasky's show, the SoCal Open. So we're not stepping on two well-established shows. We're right smack dab in the middle. So the bleed over from our show may actually be a good thing for both of those shows as well, which might draw more people to the West Coast to come to these other shows, which they've wanted to and just haven't found the time or the necessity to come to. Now they may. So this could boost the entire scene locally. So that's another thing that is just a positive for with this show that could possibly come out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Because a lot of the times when you have a show out here and then there's a big gap in dates and then there's another show, you kind of lose that momentum a lot of the times. And when you got some shows that are like back to back to back, you can do some better planning of like, all right, I'm going to build my models for the upcoming season that we got coming up with these shows that are back to back on each month right there. And I think that's pretty cool because, a lot of the times, like if you think about it, like, you have like Art Lasky's show, it's in May. And then after that, I don't really know too much about the other shows in between, but all I could think of is like the one at the NHRA, but that's all the way in November.
In November. So we do another one at the Cruising Nationals in Santa Maria.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
that's Don Graham's show.
Another one up there.
So you've got the scheduling for April. You're talking about Desert Scale Classic, our show, Art Lasky's show, so the SoCal Open, and then Cruising Nationals in Santa Maria, which again is another tremendous show for custom cars and hot rods and whatnot. But we drew what, Frankie? We had how many guys out there 2 years ago because we were pushing that show for Don. I mean,
yeah, it was a good turnout.
Table. We filled those tables.
Dang,
what was it, like eight, 9 tables at least?
Oh, at least, and he had to bring in more because of the number of people that showed up. I mean, I hadn't seen D.A. Garcia in forever, and he showed up with Willie and the boys and Armando. I mean, they represented, and this is what we want to do. We want to start building again, and hopefully we can be a part. Hopefully we can be a part of that.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Another question I had: are you guys maybe I don't know if you guys thought about it, but at that show, are you guys planning on selling any merch, like Left Coast Go Classic, like T-shirts?
Hey, you know what? The thought has crossed my mind, but here's what I don't want. Like I said, I don't want to turn this into a money grab. I mean, there might be a handful, but not really. There isn't going to be like a booth selling T-shirts. It won't be like that. No, we're not going to be set up like that. No. There might be a couple things. Yeah, exactly. It's an afterthought. I might have some made for staff or for us. Select people. See if they want one or get their size or what have you. But other than that, not really. We'll definitely have stickers. Yeah. Stickers and patches is what I'm thinking.
I agree.
That like I said, don't have to make those solid decisions just yet. Right now, the show is everything right now. And so it's a little bit about promoting. It's still planning, even though we've laid out our plans. As I told Dave, I want to have our plans to the point where we have plan A, B, C, and D ready to go. So if anything changes, the next plan is ready. We do not want to be caught with our pants down for any reason. And so it's all about the planning.
Yeah, and I agree because like imagine you guys had everything set up, and then you got everybody bringing in extra cars, filling up the tables, and then it's like, oh, we need more tables, but we don't. It's like, what do we do? Do we go to Lowe's or Home Depot down the street and buy tables?
Yeah, we're already talking. I've already left messages with the fairgrounds. This is Ventura County Fair. Nobody's going to be answering anything right now. They're so deep in the Ventura County Fair, and we're not getting anything back yet. But yeah, no.
And in that show, I think we're going to have like 10 tables on standby.
At least at this point. At least.
So we have our map. We have this layout. It's going to be a really awesome layout, and the RC cars are going to have their side, and then the Hot Wheels and the model cars will be spread out. We are going to have the little boulevard so the RC cars can park and cruise. There's going to be tables for display cars for the RC cars because some of those guys they're not into driving them around. They're showpieces, just like a real car. So they'll have intricate displays. They'll have the fancy undercarriages and the suspensions with the custom paint jobs, and they treat them like a show car. It's a showpiece, so they'll go on the table. So you'll have, I think we'll have room for around 180 to 200 cars, if I'm not mistaken. That's our target. 180 to 200 is the max that we're going to have, and we're hoping to fill
If we
every
fill
single
those
spot.
doors off,
Yeah.
we're going to be expanding for 27.
Yeah, if depending how things go, we might look to expand and maybe get a second building. But I don't want to speak too much on that because I don't want to jinx it. Right now, the way we have this thing planned, it's not going to be tight, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be full, and everyone's going to get to see some really cool stuff.
Man,
we've got vendors lined up. We're still looking for a handful of vendors. We have vendor spaces still.
Yeah, we need about another 30 vendors encompassing RC, plastic models, and of course the Hot Wheels. So if you guys are vendors, 3D scale parts, and you guys doing any of that stuff that can encompass everything, 1/64th, 1/24th, 1/10th. This is the venue for you. You're going to be able to sell everything you
absolutely. And like we had said earlier, since it's all encompassing and we're all car guys, there's going to be model guys and model guys and RC guys that are going to see some cool Hot Wheels and be like, yeah, I'll grab a couple of those. Mm-hmm. And you might see some Hot Wheel guys see a really cool model and get inspired and be like, hey, you know what? Let me try this out. And vice versa. I don't know if we'll have any RC cars for sale there. I'm not sure if any of the vendors will have any there, but I know everyone's going to be inspired to buy one of those if you don't have one yet, so I'm sure. Yeah, so I'm sure somebody will have something for sale. So it's something that's where you'll be able to cross promote and appeal to the car guy and all of us. You'll see something for everyone. I can tell you right now, if I see a 3D print vendor that's got really cool Hot Wheels stuff, I'm going to end up spending money because now I'm intrigued. Just from the research I've done in getting ready for this show, there's all kinds of little Hot Wheel 3D printed stuff that I want to get. Even though I haven't cracked open the Hot Wheel yet, it looks like fun.
Nice. And
so I'm willing to give it a shot.
For like vendors and just people that are interested, because most people are on Instagram. Would Instagram be the best place to hit you guys up, like through a DM?
We're asking them to go to the website.
Correct.
Yeah, go to the website.
Now, if you want to hit us up, Facebook and Instagram, do it. But the website is where we're pushing everybody.
Yeah, because also I wanted to tell everybody, if you guys are on Instagram and if you have not followed them yet, I'm leaving the link right there. Make sure you guys give them a follow. Right now, what was the goal, Frankie? We need to hit 1,000?
Yeah, we're trying to hit 1,000.
Yeah,
it was a brand new account. I think we're at 300. Mm-hmm. And similar to what's something that's different. So most shows, they just have their slips the day of show and hope enough people show up. What we're doing different is we're asking people to register online so that we can keep in contact with them and let them know what's going on with their show. Let them know little tidbits before the show. Get them information about our Friday night event. Give them information about if we end up doing a Sunday brunch, stuff like that, hotel information. So it might be on the website, but it's not all there right now. And as these things get ironed out, we want to be able to contact people and here's an update on what's going on. We've got this information and that information. And also, if you do register, there's a $5 discount. So for those people, for the first, I think it's 30 people that we have.
Well, we're down to 20 of those left now.
Right. And some people might say, oh, well, you haven't had 30 people register. That's because people aren't used to doing that online. And a lot of people are just used to waiting to get there to register. It's not that big a deal. However, this helps us know that you're coming. It helps us keep in touch with our patrons that are going to come to the show, give you information. And so we'll ask you, go to the website, register either as a vendor or as a participant. If you're registering as a participant, you'll get that $5 discount. Uh, it'll just help you for $5. I mean, why not? You know, there's our flyer. You know, it says right there, the mini truck theme. We talk about our band of brothers and the date, April 25th, 2026 at the Ventura County Fairgrounds. It's going to be a great time. I can't stress that enough.
Nice. I like the license plate on the truck right here. The LCSC. Dang,
That was all
right.
Frankie's idea.
That's pretty dope. Hey, isn't Red Cat coming out with the mini truck pretty soon?
Yes.
They're supposed to. So we don't really want to. So right now, I guess with this tariff war or whatever they want to call it, they're not releasing it yet. From what I understand, they already have them ready, but they're just not releasing them yet. Whenever they release them, they're going to sell like crazy. We already know that.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get released before the show.
Yeah.
Because that would be an awesome tie-in, you know, to have the Red Cat mini trucks there doing their thing. You know, we're definitely going to we're anticipating enough of the RC cars and not RC, the 124 and the 164. You know, it'd be really cool to have some RC. I know there's some custom guys that have done custom mini trucks. If they want to come, obviously, we're not going to turn them down. Come on, bring them all.
Yeah.
But as far as the official Red Cat release, we're hoping it happens before the show. And if it doesn't, that's okay. There's enough creativity between all of us to have a lot of stuff on the tables to see.
Dang.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. I'll be like curious to see who would be the first to come out and bust out with those RC ones in truck form right there.
You'd be surprised, man. Right when you think you know who's gonna bust out first, there'll be 5 or 10.
Yeah. Are you guys planning to do a hop off in the parking lot right there? No.
No, we're not getting that crazy. I don't think we have the room for something like that. We have this thing planned out so meticulously. Dave did a great job at laying this out. And we've made adjustments between the two of us, and we've meticulously outlined every square foot damn near out of this building. And so as big as 21,000 square feet sounds like, we're using every little bit. Every table is planned out. Every space is planned out. Every vendor is planned out.
Yep.
And like I said, we're going to have plan A, plan B, plan C. In case there's a change, a vendor drops off, then we can make a change. An extra vendor showed up, we can make a change. We need more models, tables for models, we'll make a change. If we need more RC car tables, we'll make a change. All we're trying to do is we want this place full for the purpose of when you walk in, you're not going to be bored. You're going to have something to look at no matter where you aim your eyes at.
Well, when they walk,
you look in the left,
see stuff anyway.
Yeah. As soon as you walk in, you're going to get the registration. You're going to see the tables where we're going to have the theme tables. You're going to see models. You're going to see RCs. You're going to see everything as soon as you walk in. It's not going to be compartmentalized where that's way in the corner or this stuff's way over there. No, as soon as you walk in, you're going to be able to see everything. And as you walk into the venue, that's when you'll feel immersed in everything that's going to be there. It's going to be really cool. I just can't stress that enough.
As far as the hop-off float you were asking about, we had thought about the concrete pad just outside the doors, but because there's I think it's an anime gathering in the Quonset next to us that same day, they're putting all the food vendors. Oh, that's something else. There are going to be food vendors at the venue. So you will be able to eat. You won't have to leave the venue and go eat somewhere outside of the fairgrounds. But that's why we really didn't focus on having anything aimed outside, just because of that. And of course, you're talking Ventura County Fairgrounds. You have the fastest little dirt oval in the West, our little dirt track. And on Saturdays, which is when this is going on, they're usually running, and so it gets loud outside. So those are the factors that came into play on why we didn't do a hop off or a full size cruise outside.
Yeah, the other thing was it does get a little windy, so we can't predict what the weather's going to be like. exactly that day. And so if we had planned all the RC stuff outside and the weather wasn't perfect, it wouldn't have been fair.
Nope.
And those people would not have had a good time. And so why submit them to that? Everybody's going to be inside. Everybody's going to have fun. The weather's going to be great inside. There's going to be music. There's going to be, I mean, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a really good time.
Man, that's cool. And as far as aside from the show, like model builds for you guys, what's the goal for each one of you guys to build? Because I know Frankie, you're building your car right there. It's set for like how many ideally cars do you guys plan on building or bringing to the show?
I'm planning on bringing at least 3. And that sounds low, but with the limited time that I have to work with, I think it's fair. At least for me, it is. I'll finish at 53. I need to build a mini truck. I have at least 1 bomb to finish. And then Dave and I are both going to participate in the VW build off for the SoCal Classic. So if they're ready, I'll bring it as well.
Yeah, we're we've both decided to do the exact same style build, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, not the exact same style. We're building similar things, so I'm sure there'll be different tweaks in the style.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah.
How about you, Dave? Are you gonna build stuff just for the show? Are you bringing something new? Any plans?
Well, mini truck, of course. I'll probably bring a lot of what I have in the stable that's been at most of the shows. I'll just put them out there just to put if we need to. But as far as building's concerned, the VW bug that we're going to be doing, the mini truck, don't hold me to it. I may try and finish that Camaro pickup that I started for the Iceman build-off competition a couple of years back. I just got wheels for that, and I've been hunting for those wheels for a while. So I may just go ahead and finish that, depending upon how that works.
Speaking of wheels, real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but for the mini truck build, I know that there's different 3D printer guys out there that are doing different deep dish wheels. That might work for mini trucks, but I'm actually gonna recommend. I'll give them a little shout out to Lowrider Model Car Parts. They've got some awesome mini truck wheels, and I spoke to Gavin. They're gonna be restocking that real soon, and I'm recommending get your wheels there because those wheels look beautiful and they're gonna look good on any mini truck. I'll tell you that.
So I'm gonna real quick on the chat. I'm looking at some of the messages on here, and
sure.
Let's see here. I believe we got a message here. Armando Flores wants to know. He's asking regarding parking space.
Parking, good.
Good questions.
Pretty big parking lot.
That's a huge parking lot.
Yeah, and then we also got Seth Gooch. He asks, will there be a limit on how many model cars you can display?
No, that's the whole point. Is this show we're doing, and it's going to bite us in the back end. It really is, but it's fine. We're ready for it. This is an unlimited event right now. If you're registered, bring your cars. Like I said, Frankie just got confirmation from a guy who's probably going to take up at least one 8-foot table by himself. So yes, it's an unlimited event for 1/64 Hot Wheels and model cars, but not for RC. RC, we're limiting it to 2 because of the size of those units. But yeah, to answer his question, bring what you got, man.
Yeah, we'll
find a place for it. At first we were considering,
like dioramas and stuff like this. I don't think there's going to be any room. And so long as the model cars, if the displays don't take up too much space, we're probably just going to ask people to just be mindful when they're laying them out, to not set them out like we're taking up a whole table, look like a bingo board. No, we're going to have to, rearrange in order to make space. Because I got a feeling we're going to end up busting out those extra 10 tables, but that's okay.
I know we will. I'm not worried.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
As far as Armando's question with parking, when you get there, you're paying the parking for the fairgrounds. Now that parking is all day. You have the ticket, so you can come and go as you please. You don't have to pay for parking twice.
Right. If you don't want to eat there, you can leave and eat and come back.
Oh, and there's plenty of food around where we're at.
But I'm saying they have that option. They can leave the fairgrounds with their ticket and come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say it's like $8 or $10 to park. It's nothing.
Nice. Yeah, Crow Customs, he also mentions on here. He says, don't forget the Lincoln, Dave.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go ahead and all right, Lee. You better bring yours then, man. You need to have it done for the show. We will get Robert back.
I'd like to see Lee build a mini truck.
Well, Lee is building a mini truck.
Oh, is he?
He's already got one. Yeah, he's good to go.
Right on.
Yeah, I wonder how many people online are gonna make a little pack and say, "All right, us 3 or us 5 are gonna make these
mini truck builds." I'm hoping so, man, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, And that goes back to the camaraderie with your friends. And then when you get there, and we're all on however many tables it takes for the mini truck builds, it's cool, man. It's just being a part of it. I can't emphasize it. I get giddy because I can picture it in my head. It's going to be a great time. I can't see it failing.
No.
Yeah.
I just can't. Money is one thing. Whether we make enough or not make enough, that's a whole nother story. As far as it being a great time for everybody that shows up, it's definitely going to be a great time for everyone that shows up. Absolutely.
Are you guys going to have some music?
Yes.
There will be music.
Yeah.
There will be music playing. We're debating on if we're going to have old videos playing.
Yeah, we're definitely talking about that.
But we don't want to overpower it and make it completely excuse me, like 80s music. We want to have a little mixture. There'll be like blocks of certain things that certain music that'll go with the theme, and then we'll ease it out with something different and then come back to it later. It's like if you're not, like, as an example, if you're not that much into rap, you don't want to hear it the whole time. You'll hear what you can, and you'll hear different stuff and be like, okay, I like that too. But definitely, there's definitely going to be music playing. We thought about a DJ, but I think a DJ might be a little bit overkill. So just having nice music playing in the background is going to be good enough. At least for me, it is.
Well, the venue is, and that was one of the things that for me was an absolute must. The venue stereo system is actually pretty good. So the sound is actually going to be really nice. On top of that, they have a microphone built in. So we're going to be walking around and talking with people. We're going to be walking around talking with vendors. Hey, you need to come see this vendor. If it's going to wind up being a very interactive show. We were talking with the guys, just the other day with the Model Car Podcast. I mean, we were talking with you about it too. I mean, one of you podcast guys, dude, do it live from the show. I mean, know the people that are going to be there. The talent that is going to be there to have that stuff.
You'll do it live.
That's it. Yeah. Do it live. Do it live.
Do it live, damn it.
I feel like now it's more possible now than ever. I remember years back, some people would ask me, why don't you do your podcast live or do it over here at the show? And I used to be like, dang, how am I going to do it? Like, all the equipment I had was old. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be plugging this in and doing all this stuff. But now it's like, cool, I got my portable setup now. So it's like,
well,
you can count me in now.
Nice.
There you go. With the draw that we're hoping to get and the caliber of people that are going to show up, I think it's worth, even if you did a half-hour segment, it's going to be worth it. There's going to be people to talk to. There's going to be names, people you're familiar with, or you might run into somebody. You might run into somebody you haven't talked to that you want to get on the podcast, and they might, hey, give me 15 minutes of your time, join me over here, and it'd be great. It'd be awesome for you, awesome for them, and awesome for everybody who's listening to the podcast. And all those people that won't be there, I'm telling you, that FOMO is going to kick in right at the day after. They're going to be like, dang. But it's all good.
They're going to be feeling like the guys that missed out on the Galpin show.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't mean to.
I'm guilty. I'm one of them.
Oh man,
I didn't mean to do it to you, Edgar. I just.
I have another question here. This is a question from Kevin Smith. He wants to know: will there be magazines set up taking photos?
Yes. So we have Scott.
Automotor?
Automotor is going to be there. I haven't nailed down Model Cars magazine. I know that we get Willie's there with Dedicated, so we got that coverage as well. I reached out to Roy Sorensen. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I know that he shoots for Fine Scale Modeler. So I'm fingers crossed we can get all the magazines there.
That would be
the
great.
ones we got there, though, let's be honest, the ones that we've got there coming, those are amazing magazines. So
absolutely,
it would be dope if because just to also like spread word in their outlets too, their media outlets.
Absolutely,
pretty sick. Dang.
Like we said earlier, if things go as well as we hope, we can see outgrowing that venue and needing the bigger space. And it's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. It's just a matter of planning and see what type of reception we get from the people. If they feel half as good as I think they will when they're done with this show, I can't see the following year being any smaller. It's just going to get bigger.
Yep,
I believe that.
Yeah. Dang. Even in the comments, I gotta mention this. Jarvis Malone says, "I'll be there with some mini trucks and Euros."
There you go.
Hold on, wait a minute. Time out. Did we literally just have breaking news on your
breaking
podcast?
news? Yeah, breaking news. Jarvis is bringing mini trucks and Euros.
Hallelujah.
There you go.
We have reached out to him. We weren't trying to push. So if he's going to be there, Jarvis, amen, man. Good on you. Thank you.
Right on.
That's huge.
Nah, yeah, that's awesome, man.
I got to toss in something really quick. I mean, I can't see the chat that you have going on, but people knowing that it was going to be me and Dave on here tonight, we're thankful that you guys are listening. Thanks for tuning in. I know you guys are always supporting Edgar, but by tuning in tonight, you're supporting us, and we appreciate that in a big way.
Huge way. Huge.
Oh, right on, man. That's cool.
Man, that's cool, Edgar. Thank you for breaking that to us, man.
No, yeah,
Right
I'm like trying to scroll back because like there's a lot of homies on here. There's a lot of people on here.
Dude, we'll answer the questions, man. We are here. However long you want.
Yeah, why not?
Let me know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me know on
Let's
the
go.
chat if there's any other questions you guys want me to ask. I'll go ahead and I'll ask away right there.
Absolutely.
Man, that's cool, man. I'm getting my cars ready as well, but I also, as I'm working on my Corvair for Armando, I'm thinking like, all right, well, what else can I do to start, setting it for April for your guys' show? That's where I'm at right now. Also, like looking through the stash, like what new, just something exciting, that I want to do. So this way I could like bring up a new build.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, because man, it's I'm excited, man. I mean, I feel like you guys got everything in order. There's definitely a lot of support, a lot of people, backing you guys as well. We all want to see it flourish, And for next year, and the year after, you guys want to lock in around that time frame, right? In those dates of April.
Yeah, so we did.
So here's the thing. Like I said, I'm big on going to shows. I'm big on traveling. I've been to NNL East. We've been going to West for a long time. And it just so happened that this year we thought we didn't step on anybody's toes, but we ended up being on the same day as NNL East in Jersey.
Yep.
Okay. Nobody's fault. We didn't realize it. It's kind of far away enough where we weren't really thinking about it. However, I would really like it not to be on the same weekend the following years so that we can go to NNL East. And even if it's just to go and talk about our show or just to go see old friends, because I'll tell you right now, Every time I've been to Jersey for that show, it's a blast. There's great people out there on the East Coast. They're, they accept you with open arms. They hear that you're from SoCal. And it's not because you're from Cali. It's nothing like that. It's because, oh, so you know this guy, you talk to this guy.
Right.
And it's just, you start building a whole nother friendship. And it's awesome. I mean, unlike the pizza parties, the Slice of the West, you know, they'll have it at, well, the last few years I went was right before COVID, and they have it at this restaurant. It sort of felt like a glorified cross between Black Angus and Applebee's. I think it was I can't remember the name of it. I don't want to butcher the name, but it was a nice spot with a big bar, and most of the guys are hanging out at the bar. No one's got models in their hands. It's just friendship and camaraderie. Where Slice of the West, we're still talking models. We're looking at the models. We have a lot of youngsters. Back east, it's just a bunch of old men getting together, hanging out. It's a different vibe. I can't stress. It's just a different vibe. We're talking the same stuff, but we're not staring at cars. We're talking life experiences. We're talking about, you know, chasing that grail. We're talking about the last time I seen you, you brought this, and what'd you bring this year, you know, or whether or not we followed you online and see what you've been doing. It's a different vibe. And so I wouldn't want to put myself in the spot where we eliminate that. I'm still trying to drag David out there because, and you too, Edgar, if you've never been, you guys got to check it out at least once before that's over. Who knows? Yeah. I'm not saying it's going away anytime soon, but right now that the getting's good, we need to go out there too. And if they want to come out here, sweet. And if they don't, that's fine. But it's one of those shows that I would like to not miss if I don't have to.
Nice.
What else can I say?
Right.
Yeah. Also, wanted to mention, Dave, Robert from Band of Brothers.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's Robert.
He's on the chat right now.
Yeah, I've been messaging him back and forth when we've been on.
Dope.
Yeah, man, he's stoked. You know, again, you know, his nonprofit graced us enough to help us out with a few things, and you know, again, you know, my father was a Vietnam vet. You know, I've got a lot of friends who are veterans. Robert is a veteran, and you know, again, the work that they do with these guys, you know, this is why we want them with us. So, you know, go check them out. You know, it's echovets.org for their site if you so want to go and donate to them even before the show.
Absolutely.
You know, I can't speak enough on it. I'm still forgive me, guys. The fact that I'm still just kind of spun on the fact that Jeffries is just committed on the show here. It's just
Jarvis
Malone. Yeah, Jarvis Malone. It's still huge, absolutely huge.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool to see some of his builds like in person there at the show.
Yeah, he does some really nice work.
Yeah, it's super clean.
Jarvis
It's very realistic too. It's crazy. As far as like for you guys were mentioning like people that sell like 3D printers. I mean, not printers, but like the parts and all that. Later, would you guys ever consider like if there was somebody who would maybe be set up not to vent, but just to kind of showcase to maybe people that want to learn about 3D printing?
Why not?
Stuff on the spot. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to make you guys.
Oh no, we wouldn't turn anything like that down because it's just gonna improve the hobby as things move forward. You know, resin casting is gonna go away. Everyone's gonna have a printer in the future, and you're gonna print whatever you want.
Right.
It's just gonna be whether or not the file's available. And some guys are getting so good at making these files, or they have those scanners that can just scan a real car and turn it into a 124 print. There's going to be so many options in the future. You're not going to need resin casters are going to go the way of the dodo. They're just going to disappear, just like the milkman. He's gone. There is no milkman no more.
Well, you're seeing a lot. I hate to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but you're seeing it a lot with the fact you can't get the good resins anymore, and that's what a lot of the resin guys are putting up with right now. So the 3D printing resin is taking that world over by storm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I contemplated it, but I just don't have the time. Again, time is everything. I don't have the time to try to chase prints and set it up. I don't even have my own home computer. Everything's on my phone or my tablet, and you got to have a laptop that has certain RAM and stuff like that in order to set those things up. I don't have that. Then space. I mean, people that do that, they're dedicated to that. It takes up space. I mean, I have where all my resin stuff is, but right now it's shared with my bench. So all my builds there, my parts are there, my paints are there. If I really had to cast something, I don't have the room for it right now, unfortunately. So yeah, 3D printing is just taking over, and the detail that you can do that you can't do with a resin cast, it's crazy. We go back to the detail they do for the 1/64 scale stuff. You can't cast that. I couldn't cast a baby Harley or a lowrider bike or stuff like that. It's nuts. So the stuff that you can do with the 3D printer, it's next level. So in the future, you're going to have that. There's going to be guys selling 3D printers. I mean, who's to say that we won't have one this year?
Right.
If a vendor comes up and says, "Hey, we'd like to sell these 3D printers," by all means, have something there on display. School us and show us and tell us what we need, and then give us a deal. Make something happen. I wouldn't turn that down at all. Not one bit.
Not a million years. No, I think if somebody wants to step up and bring a 3D printer, whether it be a line feed 3D printer or have a resin printer going, more power to you. Do it. Show it off. Absolutely, we're not going to stop you.
Yeah, because I'm always curious, like, to see like some stuff in action. Like I always see like the prints, or like people showcasing like, oh, here it is, it's already done. But just to see like a little bit of the process. I know it takes time, but to see some kind of process, just to like, I think for a lot of people, open up their eyes more that are don't know about it and are stepping into it or wanting to step into it. Just a lot more things to offer, I guess. But it's just a thought.
No, it's a great thought
For the event. But man, I'm excited, man. I mean, we're gonna have vendors. There's gonna be music. There's gonna be the model cars, RCs,
raffles.
Scale, raffles too.
Yeah,
Food.
Yeah, I spoke with Iceman a week back. He's offered to send some things out to support that aspect of it. We don't know if he's going to come. He may or may not. Depends upon his scheduling. But he's graciously offered, and he's doing the same thing that you're doing for us, as far as putting our flyers in with his product, which is again an absolute blessing, and we truly appreciate it.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. So yeah, like if companies or people that make products, if they want to, get in contact with you guys to send you guys products, for the raffles, that's also something that they can do as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can either go to the website or hit us up on the socials.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll go right to the Gmail, which is just leftcoastscaleclassic@gmail.com.
That's right.
Super simple to get to. Hit us up. If you're willing and want to support, we are absolutely here to graciously accept.
Dang, man, the days are just going by, man. Even though it's like next year in April,
it's going too fast.
Yeah, it's going super fast, dude.
It's moving.
Yeah, we're gonna be there pretty soon. It feels like already.
Yep.
I mean, I was tripping out already this month. My daughter's gonna be turning 5 years old.
Happens fast, brother.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, what the heck? Like
5? Are you 5, dude?
5.
Congratulations, man.
Nah, thank you, man. Thank you.
I've got a couple coming. Actually, all 3 of mine will gain a year by the time we get to my show, to our show. My 6 will be 7, my 10 will be 11, and my 13 will be 14.
Dang.
Scary stuff.
Right on. Yeah, I feel like by that time I'm gonna most likely, I'm planning on bringing the family.
Absolutely.
Like, I've they've been out there before, but I think I want to do it differently where it's not like, let me just drive up. It's more like, I'm gonna get a hotel, this is a family thing. Let's hang out in Ventura County and
Right.
go to the event and stuff like that, so we hang out together.
Make a weekend of it.
Yeah.
You guys can make such a weekend out of it and incorporate the family with it, like we said earlier in the show. Then,
Absolutely.
You can definitely immerse the entire family in this.
Yeah. And Dave, I wanted to ask you, like back then when I was getting into model building, I'm talking about like 96, 97. And remember that hobby store in Oxnard? It was called the Blue Max Hobbies.
Don's old place. Don't get me started.
Hey,
I grew up in that hobby shop.
What, for real?
Oh yeah, dude! I used to ride my bike from my house on the corner of M and Kamala out to that hobby shop.
Oh man, yeah. I wanted to know, like, how long was that business there for?
It started off as hobby and sound. Don was there. God, I want to say he was there easily 30 years.
Dang.
Before they really kind of shuttered the doors.
Yeah.
Because it was him, the Red Baron, Hobby and Sound, and then there was another one in Ventura that turned into Who's There Now, and then Santa Barbara had Santa Barbara Hobbies, which was actually Atkins Hobbies at the time, and then Danny Chin's Hobbies was in Goleta. So yeah.
Okay, and so like during that time, because I don't know too much around, because at that time I only had like one friend that built model cars, and we would ride our bikes or walk to Blue Max, because I was living like in the Lindenwood area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was always like wondering, like, now it makes me wonder back, like how big of a scene with modelers. Was there like a ton of modelers throughout in Oxnard, Ventura County, or Santa Barbara?
So I wasn't a part of the heavy scene in that respect. I was, because of my father, I was an IPMS member, so I was down doing stuff down at IPMS Space Park at the TRW building in Redondo Beach. Other than that, you had Ventura Hobbies used to do their thing in Westlake, and we'd go do that. But as far as really being in a scene in the model thing, not that. I mean, you had a Hobby Town that came up briefly. They did model shows. It wasn't until really later where I really kind of got into the building scene, going and doing the shows down south and that stuff. I really didn't see much of that in Oxnard when I was growing up.
Dang. All right. Yeah, because I still remember like where Blue Max Hobbies was. Right next to them there was a liquor store.
Yep.
And in that liquor store, that's where, when I used to go in there and buy, like, let's say a model car, like either like a 62 Bel Air or a 58 like Impala AMT, I would go to that liquor store and I'd buy a lowrider magazine, the car magazine, or once in a, like, it would be rare, like seeing a unicorn or something, I would see like lowrider bicycle magazine on the stand. And I would buy it, but it would be very rare. But it was more of the car magazine, and then that,
I remember they were hard to find.
Yeah, that to me was like, all right, cool. Like, I get to get some inspiration right here. Go home, flip through the book, work on a model and stuff. But I didn't really know what was going on. I don't know. I was too young. I didn't know what was going on out there.
Me and a couple of the boys in high school were building. My friend Manuel actually introduced me to kind of the lowrider scene in model world, because I was more of the hot rod custom type of thing, which I still am. But yeah, man, it really wasn't anything huge. But again, Blue Max or Red Baron was really the place you went for that stuff, because that's really what we had. I still remember it. I had my bike stolen right out in front of that shop.
Oh, it might have been someone that was going to that Snooki's bar.
Don't give me. I used to shoot pools over there too.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, did you remember the DoubleTree show? Did you ever go to that?
I did. Yeah, once.
Just once?
Mm-hmm,
I think I went 3 times. think it was 3 times. I mean, that was one of the first shows I ever went to. I've been building models for a while since I was a kid. I mean, shoot, I remember I must have been like 8, and I hot glued 2 different BMWs together to make a limousine, but they weren't even the same body style. So like the body lines went and then cut down and then cut back. Uh, but the first time I think I was maybe about 16. I was still in high school, or was I in high school or junior high? I can't remember. But the first time I went to the DoubleTree, and I was blown away by all the accessories and all the different things that people had that they could use for their builds. It blew me away, and it you know, from a love of cars, because I was one of those kids with a couple hundred Hot Wheels by the time I was 12,
Mm-hmm.
and when I just saw just how wide that world became all of a sudden.
Well, let's think
And
about that statement. That's
yeah,
what we do with cars.
I went nuts.
Mhm.
I spent a few $100 in accessories alone.
Yeah.
And my dad took me. And my dad was kind enough to hang out with me and like, what are you buying and what are you looking at? Like he's getting the play by play while I'm going like, oh my God, look, there's this. Oh my God, there's this. Oh shoot, like I could buy these wheels. And like, I mean, shoot, this is before Pegasus had the Pegasus wheels.
Right.
You used to have to buy, I can't remember. I think it was either a Corvette kit or something for the rims, and then you had to buy the tire. The tires were from the Miata kit, and then you had to buy the white wall decal. You had to build your Dayton. It wasn't like you couldn't just go buy them back then. You had to build the set. You had to buy the Miata for the tires, and I forgot what kit it was for the rims, and then the white wall stickers they used to sell at Pegasus. And all that just blew me away when I started seeing just what you can buy for your models, which is similar to like the revolution that's happening right now with 3D. You get blown away by what's available. And I'll never forget that because I had bought just so much stuff that I probably still have some of that stuff 20 years, 30 years later in its original bag from when I bought it then. And that same day is when I started talking to people and started making acquaintances. I think it was like 2 years later where I'm actually competing and I'm actually involved. Um, you know, now I'm getting to know people on a first name basis. I just, having those memories of the first model show I went to have actually made friendships that are stuck and still friends with here 30 years later. I think that's pretty cool. I'm hoping that years down the line there'll be stories like that from our show.
Amen. We can only hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, like knowing people for so long, from building models. Did you guys ever take a break from building at some point where you
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of hit like that, like, man, I gotta take care of this stuff now, and all right, I don't know if I'm gonna come back, but maybe.
Life happens, bro. So that 53 that I'm building, that's the first kit that I came this close to finishing in 15 years. If anything, anybody who knows me is probably tired of seeing my old builds because I would take them just to say, hey, look, I was here. Not because I was trying to compete or do anything. Just like, yeah, I brought them out because I'm here and I'll bring them. But these are cars that had probably been in a couple of model shows for like 8 years straight, not consecutively, but just because I still have them and I'm dragging them around, and I need to have my own new stuff to build. But yeah, between getting married, having kids, and work, and the commitments and life, man, that puts a big damper on things, and not in a bad way. I mean, life is life; you got to live it. But as far as your hobbies and your passions, we all know as fathers and husbands, you put some things aside to do what you got to do, and when you can, you get back to it. But
Right.
like the three of us know, it's a big passion. We'll have a stash that's as big as a closet or bigger, and it ain't going nowhere. There's no way I'm selling any of that stuff unless I really have to. So my stash is my stash. It's not going anywhere. It's staying right there. So when I have time to get back to it, you look at it as the retirement hobby. When I retire, I'll get to build all this stuff. Man, I'll never get to build all that stuff. I just like knowing that it's there. I already told my kids, something ever happens to me, go on eBay and get as much as you can for it because there's a pretty penny worth here.
Right.
But at the same time, I still look at my stash and I'm like, I'm happy with it. Like I've got good stuff. But later on, when all the 3D print is fully taken over, I'm going to look at some of these resins where 10 years ago, all this is like the best resin I've had because it's so awesome. Now I'm going to look at it and be like, man, the 3D print's better. And it's just going to lose its value and lose its coolness because there's something better on the market. It's going to happen, whether we like it or not. All those model house resins, there'll be nicer stuff coming out. All those old R&Rs, yeah, that's old hat. Right now it's still relevant and valuable, but the day will come where 3D print will just, at the click of a button, you'll have the coolest thing you need and it'll just be there.
Yeah.
But until that happens.
Until that happens. As far as a hard break, I don't think I've ever taken a real hard break. It's been, there'll be, periods of 1 or 2 years where I won't build anything, unless something really lights me on fire. I like that Corvair build that we did with Armando, and I picked up. Funny enough, that station wagon was NNL West, which fed into that build. But I mean, I've been building with the kids since they were 2. My 13-year-old started building when she was 2. My boy, my youngest, I started building at 5. So there's always going to be ons and offs. But as far as a hard stop, no, I'm not. There's no hard stop for me. It's too much in my blood.
Well, in my defense, I always buy kits, put wheels to them, and look at them and say, oh, this wheels will go good with this car, and then I'll put the box away and forget about it.
Well, that means you didn't stop. That just means that you added.
No, I never finished one. I haven't finished one in a long time. I kept buying them, and that's why the stash is where it's at.
Dang. Right on. I wanted to give a shout out to Robert Ray. Thank you for the super chat, Robert. That's awesome of you. Yeah, it's kind of I've gone through that with like the on off, like the stages when like my daughter was born, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a little bit here, but then I'd still like stop because I was like, no, she's gonna grow up fast. 1's gonna go 2, 3, and I gotta be there all the time for that. And now it's just like I still feel a little weird knowing like, wait a minute, my freedom's back. I'm starting to like be able to. Mm-hmm. She's becoming more independent, more like right. I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? She's like, no, I'm busy. I'm doing this, and I'm like, all right. So I guess I got time to do something now. So yeah, it's a bit different, but it's coming back.
That's a good thing.
There you go.
No, yeah, man. Is a question, and I'm not sure, and I don't want to put Gavin on the spot, but is Lowrider Model Car Parts coming out by any chance from Japan?
To my knowledge, they are not. The dates don't work for him. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he'll have somebody selling on his behalf.
Yeah. Got it.
So, but from what I understand, he won't be able to make it.
We were hoping.
Well, that might change. I don't know, but that might change. Who knows?
Yeah. You never know. There might be an opportunity, unless everybody starts bugging him on his Instagram. Come to California. Come to California. No.
I already told him. I go, hey man. I go as soon as you have those mini truck wheels, I'll do a post because those are the nicest wheels that are going to be for those builds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not putting any of the other 3D printers down, but it's got really good quality with the chrome, and so they'll make for really nice builds. I'm not saying I'm going to stock up. I'm the hoarder. I'll end up buying more sets than I need. And they'll be sitting in a box somewhere for who knows how long. But I'm still going to build my truck.
Bring it out of the shelf and lay them out.
we'll see what happens. But yeah.
I was gonna ask you, Frankie. I remember some years back, you had gone up to NNL West with David Champion, and I don't know if it was on the 5 freeway or what, but you guys took a photograph and posted it that something had your models or something flew off of the roof.
So I had my car has a really big roof rack on it, right? It's it's an oversized roof rack. I had boxes and bins on the roof. Now, my good bins, I had used them for something else, and I had just bought these cheaper bins. And so when I had everything strapped up onto the roof of the car, had everything with bungee cords. And so the bungee cord was enough to just clip the corner, wrap it down to the rack, and wrap back up and catch the other corner. So that one bungee cord would be like one corner down to the rack and back up to the other corner. And then I do the same on the other side. And so all four corners were secured on 5 bins on the roof rack. So we're coming down the 5, we're flying down, we're on our way to NNL West. You know, it was Henry was with us, Henry, David Champion, and I were driving down the freeway. And all of a sudden I heard a weird noise. I looked at my rear view and I see model kits just floating on the freeway. I said, crap. I pull off to the side and a couple cars drove by us and we run out and we're trying to pick up the pieces. It was a bin that had a bunch of NASCAR stuff that I was going to donate. So it wasn't like, you know, that valuable, but I mean, there's value there, but not that valuable. The one thing I can't say that was pretty crazy. So we noticed that no more cars were coming, right? And off in the distance at the nearest bridge, which might have been quarter mile away, when the model kit started flying, a big rig braked because he didn't know what was going to happen, and he started jackknifed and blocked the road. So we were able to pick up all the models and put everything, you know, back in the box and stick it in the back seat. And there was no traffic because that big rig jackknifed, and we just kind of kept going. But yeah, we posted it because we thought it'd be funny, you know. There's a couple of guys out there that will swear whenever I go somewhere, something always has to happen, which may or may not be true, but that's part of the adventure. That's part of the fun. That's part of doing the whole road trip anyways. Silly things will happen and story you get to tell, just like right now.
No, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know about the jackknife, but I do remember seeing like photos. I was like, whoa, what the hell? What happened? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, man. So hey guys, we're gonna wrap up this episode. We're coming to the end right here. Is there any anything you guys want to shout outs? You guys want to give out?
Right now, Edgar, to you for having us. Thank you very much. And for all the people that are chiming in today, knowing that it was going to be us, you know, hopefully you guys aren't disappointed. Just like we're hoping you won't be disappointed by coming to this show. It's going to be a great show. We have plans. There's going to be a lot of stuff to look at. It's going to be one for the books. I'm telling you guys right now, don't miss out. Make your plans. We'll have more information for the hotel soon enough. We're trying to find a host hotel that's going to give us a deal on at least 10, 15 rooms so that we can have people from out of town come down. Granted, it's not cheap. Some people will want to drive up the day of. I'm recommending you at least come the Friday night, come participate in the Friday night activities that we'll have planned. It's going to be good. It's going to be one of those things where we're going to get to hang out, meet new friends, hang out with old friends, talk about other shows, talk about builds. You know, at the show, at the real show, there's so many people coming and going. You won't have that opportunity to talk to certain people the way you would on the Friday night. Just like at Slice of the West, it's not that crowded. It's a nice little crowd. It's a good crowd. Lots of cool stuff on the tables to look at. You know, guys are busting out. They're busting out at the Friday night Slice of the West, not so much at the NNL West. And so we're hoping to have that same kind of vibe. So you have, you know, place to hang out on the Friday night, do the show, maybe even a bar, a random bar for Saturday night, and then brunch in the morning, and then we're all off on our ways until the next year. At least that's how I'm hoping, because I want to make the most out of this weekend with the show and the friendships and the camaraderie. I'm big on that. I can't stress that enough.
Agreed. I personally want to thank all the supporters right now. Because
Absolutely.
guys like you, Edgar, Iceman, Auto Modeler Magazine, all you guys, Sam, Wes Salazar, all you guys who are helping us out have no idea how integral you guys have become for us to help promote the show to make this as big as we know it can be. And, for the guys on the Model Car Podcast that we're on, again, thank you as well for bringing us on. And always, Edgar, for you, man, thank you for bringing us on. And we're going to be doing this again with Willie next week. So,
oh, hell yeah, man. That's cool. No, yeah, I mean, I'll do whatever I can to help you guys, spread the word, and I'll definitely be out there as well. And I'll be ready when the time comes to. Also, I'm excited. Definitely want to do some podcasting there.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
coverage,
absolutely,
a bunch of different stuff. So definitely count me in for that. I'll be set up by then for that time. So that'll be
absolutely.
Yeah,
I've set up on the webpage a sponsors page. No, not a sponsors page. Sorry, a supporters page. So all you guys that have been supporting us, make sure you email me a link to your business that is supporting us. At least we can get a little bit of love for you in that respect. Put you up there. We've done that with you. We've done that with I'm doing that with Iceman this week. Yeah, we just want to make sure that you guys understand how appreciative we are.
No,
absolutely.
Man, thank you. Yeah, and thank you guys too for taking the time and being here with me and with everybody else on the podcast. We're looking forward to the show. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. It's coming up. Everyone mark your calendar. April 25th. It's coming up. And we'll check in back with you guys as we get closer to the date.
Yep.
And also, guys, just so you know, if you're on Instagram, please follow them on Instagram. The goal we're trying to set is for them to have at least 1,000 followers. So this way they could start doing more like live content and things like that through the channel as well. So because a lot of the time,
the Facebook page,
you have to have a minimum of something to unlock something,
Right.
So I think that would be pretty dope across the board. So the link's right there at the bottom. And I'm going to also put links in the description after this video posts right here. So this is 65 Lokes here checking out. Thank you guys for being here on the podcast. This was episode number 261. And hope to see you guys next time on the next one. All right? So you guys have
all right. Thanks again, boss.
Thank you guys for being here and everybody that was watching and in the chat as well. So have a good one, guys.
All right, man.
All right. Peace
Take
out.
care.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
Good night.
Good night.